The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
The role of a woman in the society is to submit. Birth control are the pills of the devil. Education is so fundamental to the development of a people. Hang murderers. Simple as that. What am I voting for? Voting will change nothing.
Tout le monde haïtien, como ye. God save the Queen.
Broadcasting live from ILTV Studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. Welcome to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And of course, I'm a member of the local Catholic Christian community. My spiritual advisor, praise the Lord, is here with me, Bradley Rule. Welcome to Freedom March.
Thank you, Mr. Monker.
How did you spend your Sunday, my spiritual advisor?
Well, Sunday, I had some work to do. I mean, Sunday was pretty slow. I spent some time alone, reflecting on some things.
But of course,
I had some personal issues I had to attend to. And
yes.
So reflection was the order of the day for Sunday, the Lord's Day, the first day of the week. The day that Jesus Christ in actuality rose from the dead. So it was a reflection day for me more than anything else. But I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling refreshed. It's another week, thank God. We're alive, Mr. Monker. We're still on this side of eternity, and that is a lot to be grateful to Almighty God for.
My spiritual advisor, I attended an early morning mass. And as I departed the church, I was overcome with a powerful desire to go and search for the former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram. And I found the former Prime Minister. It was such a great reunion. It was such a great camp meeting between the former Prime Minister and I having not seen him just prior to the general election. And what a meeting it was. As I pour out the political problems of the nation to Papa, the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram, and I discussed with him a pressing socio-political issue involving citizenship, involving the Haitian vote, and involving the Member of Parliament for Southern Shores. I said, Papa, I am petitioning you to hear my arguments and to tell me if I am on the right track, because Papa, if you conclude that I am on the wrong track as I pursue Frankie Alfred Campbell, Papa, I will have to turn back. Papa cautioned me, answered every question I put to Papa, but Papa warned me. He said, now there are some answers I'm giving to you. You're not to tell the nation. But Papa, please forgive me. Something is wrong with me today. Papa, I don't remember what it was that you say that I ought not to reveal. So Papa, please forgive me if, in the course of the show, I miss and say something that you told me not to say. Because Papa, take it from me. Everything that you would like for me to keep a secret, I'm always willing to do so. And those things that you have authorized me to speak publicly about, Papa, it is my intention to do so. But something is happening to me, my spiritual advisor.
If that's the case, don't say anything.
I'm not
Just
sure
keep quiet.
what it is that Papa does not want me to say. But the Lord knows I shall tell the people there what Papa say. Papa, I had a wonderful time for the 3 hours I spent with you.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV Studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. Praise the Lord. I'm joined by my spiritual advisor, Bradley Rule. Bradley, welcome to Freedom March once again.
Thank you, Mr. Monker.
Folks, there is a national challenge today to Philip Brave Davis, the leader of the Progressive Liberal Party and the leader of Her Majesty's opposition in this country. Philip Brave Davis, are you aware, as the leader of Her Majesty's opposition, that there is a major chronic epidemic tuberculosis, TB, that has broken out on the island of Eleuthera? Are you aware of this, Mr. Davis? And if you are not aware, I invite you as leader of Her Majesty's opposition in this country to immediately contact the Prime Minister, Dr. the Honorable Hubert Alexander Minnis, with a view to finding out what is the state of health on the island of Eleuthera as it relates to a major outbreak of TB. I appeal to the world. I appeal to everybody in the sounding of my voice to demand that the Prime Minister of the Bahamas tell us if it is true that there is an epidemic on the island of Eleuthera. To the people of Eleuthera, I call upon you, as one of the descendants of Eleuthera, to tell me what is taking place, because I've been inundated over the last 10 hours from people on the island abreasting me of what is taking place. For the first time in the history of Eleuthera, has police officers who have been on immigration raid have been visited by medical professionals with a view to giving them, please forgive me, tuberculosis detecting shots, as best as I can describe it. This is what has been told to me, to the extent that officers of the Royal Bahamas Police Force are very concerned about this developing crisis, and they are afraid for their health and the health of others. We have received report that at least in many homes, families are for the first time discovering that the threat of TB is in their house, because I am advised, and I verily believe, that health officials have been walking about certain communities and visiting certain homes with a view to telling families that they are suspected of having contracted tuberculosis. This is what is happening, and we need to know. We are also being advised that Prime Minister Hubert Minnis has informed persons in the health profession to withhold the fact that there is a major epidemic on the island. It's very important. We have been advised that at least in 2 settlements, the government has bought in X-ray machines with a view to now doing the chest X-rays to determine how many people in those settlements may have contracted tuberculosis. And it's a state secret. And I want the secrecy to drop. We as citizens of the Bahamas, we have a right to know when our island nation is infected. And the world need to know because we may need international assistance. I'm going to look at my notes. To refresh my memory, they tell me that there is a lack. I'm only going by what they tell me. I'm not a professional, but I respect what I've been told. And those who know better than the information that I'm about to provide can correct me. And anybody in the medical profession, from the Prime Minister down to his Minister of Health, is invited to come here on Freedom March and to explain the health crisis taking place on the island of Eleuthera. So we have been told that there is a vitamin called B6. B6 is said to be used to help with the medication that is given to fight TB. That's what they tell me. And that is the information I am providing to you. And if this information is incorrect, as I say, the Minister of Health, my doctor, Dr. Dwayne San, can come on Freedom March. He been on Bodie's show, and Bodie ain't no F&M. I is an F&M. And if any show that Dr. Dwayne San should come on, he should come on my show, because he's my doctor, and I am an F&M. Now, we are being told that the schools have not been addressed yet on the island. And people have been walking from house to house to inform residents of this deadly threat. I am advised by a senior government official who's told me that there's been a series of raids involving Haitian nationals and Jamaican nationals. And they say that they believe that that might be the genesis of this epidemic. That is what they're telling me. And because I view it as a national crisis, I am informing you. I have been informed that the X-ray machine has been taken to Governor's Harbor and the Rock Sound Clinic. And medical personnel from Nassau have been brought into the island, and they have been working 7 days per week in an attempt to curtail this serious epidemic, which has the potential to wreck tourism in Eleuthera. So I want the world to know that there is this serious allegation of tuberculosis in Eleuthera, and the government stands condemned for hiding it. We need to know. And I want to also point out once again how my sources has informed me that 2 weeks ago, after a major police and immigration raid, the Dr. Nem had to come to the police station. Never before in the history of policing on the island of Eleuthera that they have seen, where the medical professionals came into the station to give them the various tuberculosis tests. My spiritual advisor, this is a new developing story coming out of Eleuthera.
Yeah, and to Mr. Monica, I think, unless we get some official statement from the government, you don't want to create pandemonium in the community, because tuberculosis, as we all know, it is a very contagious disease. And unless we get the information, make sure the source is credible. We don't want to say yet, because Dr. Sands has said too that there's no need to panic and that it's not an epidemic. All right, so we got to make sure that we don't put information out there that may cause, panic or pandemonium.
My sources
in the community
is extremely high in the government.
What about credible, though? Credible.
Very credible. Very credible.
Because you realize you have to be responsible with the information that's disseminated.
You heard what I just said to my spiritual advisor?
I heard you.
My source, I have trust in my source. And they're very concerned. All right? And if anyone in the government thinks that my sources are what?
Not
credible, then for heaven's sake, step now. Because Philip Brave Davis, you have to demand from Dr. Menace what is the situation on the ground. Okay?
Fair enough.
Okay, my spiritual advisor. Because do not forget, in education, Jeffrey, what's the name of the Minister of Education?
Mr. Jeff Lloyd.
Jeffrey Lloyd. He, Saturday before last, attempted to mismanage, because he didn't manage the situation, as the TV jumped from off the wall in Aaron Bailey Yard and went east onto C.H. Reeves. So that is what is taking place there.
East or west?
C.H. Reeves is on the eastern boundary, I think, of Aaron Bailey.
Aaron Bailey, really?
But in any event, it's just over the wall.
Okay.
At the stage, I take this opportunity to salute a wonderful Negro man who 7 years ago took on a Negro woman as his wife. And they celebrate today their 7th anniversary. So to Mr. D'Angelo Scott and your charming wife, Mrs. Celeste Scott, listen, the spiritual advisor and I, we are so proud of you that you have joined together in holy matrimony and you have remained faithful for the last 7 years. Isn't that powerful?
Yes, 7 years is a milestone for some folks. They say once you get to 7 years, then you probably get to 10, 15, and then 20. So congratulations.
Well, I'm an example of it because I've been married so long that the woman is going to have to tell me on Friday when we celebrate our next anniversary how long we've been married.
All right, you forget.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Celeste, I was proud when D'Angelo met me and he declared that you were one of the women there. And I thank God that throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, Bahamian women are rejecting gender equality and have accepted my leadership. Don't mind what these Negroes tell you. It is a sin. Don't listen to them. They're not saved nor sanctified. Well, on Saturday, Sir Arlington Butler was buried. Was it Saturday, my spiritual advisor, or Friday?
Friday.
On Friday.
Around 11 a.m.
And then on Saturday, I picked up the Nassau Guardian, and members of the Breakfast Club told me that they thought that the priest, Father Libran, was attacking me. Now, this is a priest who says he only knows Sir Arlington for 10 years. Therefore, he is not qualified to speak about Sir Arlington. Father, be careful, because I'm a man. When I speak, I can document what I have to say. Father, are you attacking me? Because if I conclude that you are attacking me, Father, I will take you on. Because you were not qualified to preach. You only know the man for 10 years. You know how long I know Sir Arlington? He was my daddy, very good friend. All right? And me and him has break bread for over 33 years, every morning that he was in Nassau. So watch out for me, because I am prepared to defend myself, Father. And Father, I don't want to curse you out. Okay? So be careful of what you are saying, because you don't know Sir Arlington Butler. You don't know him? You don't know him. Sir Arlington Butler is an Adderley. And my great-grandma is an Adderley. So you don't know nothing about me. All right? And you don't know nothing about Sir Arlington. Because if you think you know, I can give you 10 things that you don't know nothing about Sir Arlington. But I know who he is. And I want him to rest in peace. And Father, don't get me mad. All right? I finished with that, my spiritual advisor.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, what is the next topic that we have to talk about? Well, I see a statement which has informed me that apparently the former deputy leader and deputy prime minister of the Progressive Liberal Party, Cynthia Pratt, may have eaten poisoned fish and had to go to see hospital, according to a statement. Now, Mother Pratt, you know barracuda is a poisonous fish, and every Negro who eat barracuda, the stomach ain't got the thing up to create anti-poison. But I'm hoping that Mother Pratt is fine, and I call on people then to watch out for the barracuda. Everybody can't eat barracuda because barracuda may lick you with a serious poisonous disease. My spiritual advisor, would you like to comment?
It's interesting. I was at the fish fry on Sunday evening last year, and I was at a particular store, and I saw just at the top of the door they had this barracuda sign that says "Eat at your own risk."
Wow!
So why do people take chance and eat barracuda anyhow?
Well, barracuda is very delicious.
I hear they say it is sweet.
There is no fish
but
like barracuda.
But like the old people say, what is sweet in your mouth is bitter in your tail, eh?
Well, everybody don't get poisoned.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes me and you.
So what it depends on?
Well, a number of factors. Sometimes the barracuda is too poison. Sometimes people barely eat, you know.
Okay.
And so forth like that.
Yeah, I don't eat it at all. I don't take the chance.
I love a barracuda, but I don't eat it that much.
I don't eat that at all.
Yeah.
I don't take
but
that
a nice
chance.
piece of red pepper and some good lime juice. Listen to me.
Tasty.
It is delicious.
I can imagine.
Oh, yeah.
I can imagine.
This is powerful. So we are hoping that Mother Pratt is doing fine.
Yes, Bishop Wells. Speedy
because
recovery.
A statement said that the opposition leader had to call upon Mother Pratt. So the statement goes like this. I attended the accidents and emergency section of the Princess Margaret Hospital this evening to visit former Deputy Prime Minister Mother Pratt. She is resting comfortably and being observed by physicians following a suspected bout of barracuda poisoning.
Wow.
This was issued by Philip Brave Davis, or in his name, by one of the media. So that is what is taking place, and we hope that Mother Pratt will not eat any more barracuda fish. And Mother, in case the doctor didn't tell you, once you're poisoned by the barracuda fish, you should not eat any other fish for a long, long time. How's that, my spiritual advisor?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
This is Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. And when we come back, I'll talk about Papa. Papa!
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV Studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. I'm joined in studio by my spiritual advisor, Bradley Roll. Bradley, once again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right. On Sunday, I attended an early morning mass at St. Joseph Catholic Church, Boyd Road. That is the Christian denomination that I belong to. After a wonderful service, I exited the church and my mind ran on the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram. Mr. Ingram, as you are aware, is the second prime minister in an independent Bahamas. I hadn't seen Papa for many a months. In fact, the last time I saw him was just prior, and I mean prior, to the dissolution of Parliament. And you would recall that Parliament was dissolved on the 11th of April 2017. So I had to go in search of Papa because my birthday is Thursday, and I wanted Papa to know that I was aging. And I also wanted to discuss some personal economic problems with Papa, which I discussed. I wanted to discuss with him the fact that I was working here at IL Studios. And I wanted to know what Papa taught. And I wanted skills from Papa and get a good impression as to how to sit down with Sabbats. And boy, listen, when Papa finished talking to me, boy, when I see Sabbats, I think he's going to be excited when I tell him what Papa told me. And Papa gave me good advice. And then after that, as Papa and I sat down to have a good coffee, I said to Papa, Papa, I've just told a woman who got some children for an F&M parliamentarian. I said, the woman complained, Papa, that the man wouldn't give the children anything. I said, and as she complained, I said, Papa, only you came to my mind. I told the woman, go look for you and take the children to you, Papa. Because if the F&M MP don't want mine his children, Papa, I told her I blame you. Papa laughed. But I want him to laugh when that woman show up with them children. But the weightless F&M MP don't want mine. So, lady, I can say it to you now. Grab the children, go see the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram, and tell Papa how under the F&M that no good man wouldn't mind the children. And Papa will have to mind them. Now the man ain't nothing to Papa. But Papa is like the chief of this village. So you may now go. That's what I'm doing now, my spiritual advisor. Mm-hmm. Every time somebody have a problem, I send them to Hubert Alexander Ingram.
He's the problem solver, is he?
Well, Papa caused this.
Oh, well, how could you do that? Here does this man should take responsibility for these kids, right? I mean, you can't blame Papa for that.
How you mean?
He is a man. Let him take care of his responsibilities.
Yeah, but if he don't want to take care of his children, how the children can manage?
Yeah, but let the woman take him to court.
I told her, don't take him to court.
Yeah, let the
take him to Papa.
Yeah, no man should be forced to go to court, but, take him to court and let the court deal with him. He'll have to answer the court.
No, I solved that.
Yeah?
I say, take all the children to Papa. And if the daddy don't want to mind them, Papa will have to mind them. Papa had a good laugh, but I want Papa to know I'm serious. So when that woman show up with them couple of Negro children.
How many kids are there?
Well, it's at least 4.
4 kids?
4 kids.
What are their last name?
You asking me to reveal the member of Parliament name? My spiritual advisor. You're going to cost the member of Parliament to beat the heck out of me. I can't do that. Papa will have to deal with that. So, I went to see Papa, and Papa and I had a number of discussion. But before I go to the first set of the discussion, I want to go to the last set. As I sat with Papa, one of Papa's intelligence officer submitted information to Papa. I was in airdropping, but I had no other choice because Papa and I were sitting next to each other.
Okay.
And she informed Papa of a piece of writing that Omar Archer has spread all over the place, where Omar has accused the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram. And I call on Omar Archer to leave Papa alone because Papa was mad. Omar, Papa ain't do you nothing. Look what he accused Papa of. He say, Papa got contracts. All right? And I asked Papa, I said, Papa, you got contracts too? Papa denied categorically. All right? Look at what he say Papa got. Omar, leave Papa alone. He said, Papa got the tugboat contract to pull all cruise ship. Papa said, that's a lie. He has the gas contract for the entire port for all cruise ship. Papa said, that's a double lie. And he said, Papa and Ed Curling has the contract to mine aggranite in the back of Paradise Island, and that they have Russian badges taking millions of dollars daily. Papa denies that. Then Omar Archer went on, and he said Papa want control of BPL, and that he's actively seeking control of the entire company. Papa said that's a lie, but I don't mind Papa owning BEC. Because if Papa owned BEC, I know my light bill will be reduced, my spiritual advisor. Then he went on. He says that Papa wants Renew Bahamas, formerly City Dump. He knows there is billions of dollars of methane fuel underground. And Papa also said that it is a lie. And then he goes on to say, don't be deceived, Mr. Prime Minister. Ingram did nothing to help the FNM to win the election, the last election. You do not owe him. And then he used the fecal word in its raw sense. And he ran on. Papa, and on behalf of the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram, I deny this bogus allegation. And Papa looked towards me, wanting to know who's the source of it. And I told Papa who it is. I said, Papa, from this, I believe we should blame the Prime Minister. I said, because Minister needs to exercise more responsibility and to control Omar. I mean, it's a disgrace what Omar is saying about Mr. Ingram. And Mr. Ingram is angry over it. All right? And I want Omar to stop it. I appeal to Minister to tell Omar, stop spreading propaganda on the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram. And on behalf of Papa, I'm tearing up these allegations. And if Omar don't stop it, be careful. Papa don't put mouth on you. Be careful. Papa could put mouth on you, Omar, and you could become destituted with your ugly self. Leave Papa alone. Oh boy. The clock is off. I can't time myself. But my spiritual advisor, you think Omar should be doing Papa like this? Had it not been for Papa, Minister couldn't win this election. All right? Now you tell Minister, Papa ain't help. Mind Papa upset, you know. I sat down with Papa, and Papa don't like this. Papa don't like nobody lying on him. And Omar, you better stop it. You hear me? Stop spreading propaganda on the former Prime Minister. Papa ain't corrupt. Papa's not corrupt. Papa's an honorable man. And to make sure that Papa is not corrupt, I asked Papa one more time to identify all the corrupt people. And you must stop it, man. Omar got a hard heart. Why are you picking on Papa? Leave Papa alone. Dr. Minister, I appeal to you as Prime Minister. Take your attack dog off of Papa. Because if you don't stop, all them things that Papa used to tell me, I'm going to repeat them. Shouldn't they leave Papa alone, my spiritual advisor?
I see no reason why to attack the former Prime Minister.
I mean, this is horrible.
Yeah, whatever it is, you dealt with it. So
you think I dealt with it?
Yeah, and Papa denies it, right?
Papa denies it.
Okay, so it is what it is.
Huh?
But I don't know if you should actually call Omar Archer the Prime Minister's attack dog. That may be going a bit too far.
Why would you say that, my spiritual advisor?
I'm thinking the Prime Minister, even before him winning the elections, he did distance himself from Omar.
He did? Mm-hmm. When?
As far as I know, he did.
Never.
I'm telling you.
I told you no. He called Omar a political prisoner.
Yeah, well, anyhow, okay.
Come on.
That is one thing I don't want to get into because I've seen some vicious things happen, and I don't want to go down.
I don't mind Omar being vicious, but he's not to be vicious against Mr. Ingram. All right? Leave Mr. Ingram alone.
He fired some scuds at you too, you remember that?
I don't mind him firing scud at me. All right? He could fire all the Papa scud at me, but leave Papa alone. Okay?
All right. Okay.
All right. Well, having heard that from Mr. Ingram, I was so excited that having not seen him, I know Papa is a reservoir of intelligence and intellect. Papa and I sat down and we began to discuss the immigration situation. My problem now is I ain't sure how to deal with this matter because Papa specifically identified a number of things that Papa say is only for me. Now I'm in trouble. I can't remember. My spiritual advisor, what do you think I should do? In view of the fact that Papa set some stiff conditions and he said to me, don't repeat this.
Listen, it would appear as if you and the former Prime Minister Hubert Alexander Ingram have a pretty decent relationship, right? And I don't think you would want to jeopardize that relationship or to put it in danger by repeating things that he doesn't want you to repeat on national TV. So my best advice to you is to just leave it alone until you can consult with him again to find out what it is that he don't have any problem with you saying versus what it is that he doesn't want you to say. So it's best to play it safe. There's so many other things you can talk about.
Listen.
Keep that meeting between you and Papa secret for now.
Listen.
And don't divulge information that he doesn't want you to let the public know.
Listen, I yearn
don't
for the
betray
day.
his trust.
I'm not betraying Papa trust.
Yeah,
Papa knows
don't do that.
if I say something that he told me not to say,
Yeah, well, don't
I
do it.
miss
And you can't
say
tell
it.
him you slipped, man. Because don't forget now, Hubert Ingram is a very intelligent man.
This is true.
All right, so don't do that. He's smarter than that.
Papa, the information you give me, all is so juicy. I have to tell the people them I can have to like gamble, right?
Take a chance.
And take a chance and so forth. Papa told me things. Papa told me things that I heard and I saw. Papa is suspicious. I want the nation to know that Papa is not like the rest of them F&M. Papa's a man of integrity. And Papa is suspicious of the Haitian boat. Because Papa is suspicious. Papa wants to know how the boat could land there and then catch man, woman, or child. You heard me? And I said, Papa, what mystery is this that you are trying to reveal to me? And Papa is suspicious. Take it from me. Papa is suspicious. And Papa told me something. But I can't remember if this is one of the things that Papa say I must not talk. Oh, Papa is suspicious. You hear me? Papa is suspicious. And so I asked Papa if he was ready to return to power. And the next thing I know, when Conky Joe Man show up, and every time Papa say, no, he's not coming back. And I said, Papa, come back. The Conky Joe Man would turn to me. These Conky Joe people are something. He turned to me and say, you can't understand? Papa say he won't come back? Can you imagine it? And I said to the Conky Joe Man, why don't you leave me alone and let me work on Papa? But praise the Lord, I see a sign that Papa will return. Because in the Nassau Guardian, on page 3, there is a photograph of Tommy Tanquest, the former Negro Minister of National Security and a former leader of the F&M, in which Tommy says, keep the fire on the government. This is no coincidence, because you would recall that on Friday, moved by the Spirit, I called on F&M MPs to move a vote of no confidence in Mr. Minnis. But today, Tommy say to keep the fire on the government. So the flame is lit. And all I need is gallons of political gasoline. That's all I need. So it's important to know. All right? And I asked that Conky Joe man that the next time he see me trying to get Papa to come back, he must keep out of my business. Because I don't like to insult the Conky Joe people. But I work on Papa. And like every time I have Papa like on the edge of coming back, the Conky Joe man keep interfering. He keeps saying, man, you can't understand it. Papa ain't want to come back. Papa, the Conky Joe man say, does not want to come back. And that Conky Joe man, I could tell that if Papa agrees to come back, all they could find is sponge money. So that is what is taking place there as it relates to that aspect of it. Now, Papa is suspicious of this boat. Don't forget what I told you. Papa and I, we are a part of the Haitian people. And Papa is suspicious of the boat. You hear me? Papa does not believe that the boat ever had people on it. Papa, I hope that it wasn't a piece of the information that he didn't want me to say. Y'all think y'all could fool Papa and me? Y'all may fool me, but you can't fool Papa because Papa is a man who believes in justice. Yeah. But as the story developed, and I said to Papa, Papa, there is a major burden. Oh, Papa, I'm overcome over the fact that Frankie Alfred Campbell, I said, Papa, the affidavit, that's the proper name. But Papa and I spoke in a colloquial tongue. I said, Papa, this affidavit, Papa, this affidavit cannot bestow citizenship on Frankie. I told her that. Papa listened attentively. And as Papa listened attentively, Papa had a number of woman Praetorian guards. And I decided that I was going to show Papa how good I know the law. And I've asked, because I was trying to impress Papa's Praetorian guard, the woman them. And as Papa questioned me about the content of the affidavit, and I answered Papa, do you know Papa made a judgment? Papa made a judgment. And I was so proud of me because Papa made a judgment. And Papa knows that I will never knowingly mislead him. Can you tell whose side Papa rule on? Can you tell whose side Papa rule on? As I argue, I say, Papa, Frankie Alfred Campbell cannot produce not one document, Papa. I say, Papa, he cannot. Oh, Papa, Frankie cannot. I told Papa. And it will shock you how Papa ruled. It will shock you how Papa ruled.
You ruled in their favor?
Oh, it will shock you as I argue the law before Papa. And then, at a point, Papa and I began to communicate in a language that his Praetorian guards could not comprehend. As Papa grilled me, man, I felt great. Papa asked me them powerful questions in the front of the female members of his Praetorian guard. And when I had finished arguing and just producing argument, Papa looked at me and it was clear. Even though he did not say it in words, he invited me to the front of the class. And I'm certain that my people, the people of Black Village, Bainstown and Grandstown, will be proud when I tell y'all how Papa ruled. You better watch out for me, because Papa has given a ruling as it relates to Alfred Frankie Campbell. I call on Dr. Menace to consult with Papa. Papa knows the law, and Papa knows the convention, and Papa knows the tradition, and Papa knows that I wouldn't mislead him, because from time to time I have conducted forensic investigation for Papa. And Papa, no, I ain't gonna lie. As I put my case to Papa, I said, Papa, if I found one iota of evidence that can support Frankie Alfred Campbell's citizenship, Papa, I'll bring it. Papa, I'll bring it. It's amazing. Papa's so just and so fair. I think we should name Papa the next Chief Justice of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. But Papa ruled. Man, it was a ruling. Man, it was a ruling that Papa faced with credible submissions from me, a learned layman. Papa ruled in my favor. So, Dr. Menace, you don't know what kind of Negro I am. Once certain citizens rule in my favor, I pick up my placards. And there was something interesting that has me suspicious. And I'm sending an email to the leader of the opposition in this country, Philip Rave Davis, because I run into Mr. Davis and I ask him one legal question, and he answered me. And the way that Mr. Ingram spoke to me, I have been left suspicious. Could it be that Philip Rave Davis and the former Prime Minister are sharing legal notes? Could it be that great minds think alike? I run into the leader of the opposition in this country, and I put a question to him, and he answered me. I put the identical question to the former Prime Minister, and his answer was identical to Philip Rave Davis. You all talking behind my back, eh? I need to know, because I was so impressed that Mr. Ingram gave me the same answer as Philip Rave Davis. Oh yeah? Now my problem is I can't remember some of the things that Mr. Ingram told me not to say. Therefore, I'm not going to tell you what his ruling was, even though he ruled in my favor. Frankie, resign. Resign, Frankie. For Papa knows all things politically in the country. And I'm satisfied that on the question of citizenship, Frankie Alfred Campbell, his documents does not constitute citizenship, and Dr. Hubert Menace must do the honorable thing and invite Frankie to resign, because Frankie is not a citizen of the Bahamas. But I ain't gonna tell you what Papa ruling is, because I remember all the things. But do not forget that Frankie wanted a nomination under Hubert Ingram. And mysteriously, no one other than God knew why Hubert Alexander Ingram refused him. And he didn't tell me. He did not tell me. So folks, it was a wonderful breakfast, a wonderful intellectual discourse, as the former Prime Minister educated me, brought me from the back of the class, and brought me to the front of the class. When I come back, I got one or two little things to tell you about that great camp meeting with the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram. This is Freedom March. I'll be right back talking Ingram Talk.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV Studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker, my spiritual advisor. Praise the Lord. Bradley Roll is with me. Bradley, Papa wanted to know how you were doing.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Let Papa know I'm good all the time.
I told Papa you were doing fine.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And what I've been fair to tell Papa that you love him as well.
Papa's a good man.
Do you love Papa?
Yes, I love Papa.
This is powerful.
Just as much as I love Menace.
Okay. This is powerful. For a second, we're going to leave Papa alone because who knows? This whole week might be declared Papa Week. Because there's plenty of things Papa tell me. Things he said verbally and things he said in my head. Because Papa can talk to me in a telepathical, what is the word? In a telepathical manner. Is that the word, my spiritual advisor?
I guess so. I assume that's the correct pronunciation.
So what we will do, we'll hold on Papa for a few seconds. We'll come back because there are other developing stories. This morning, members of National Insurance protested. And apparently, it was over the fact that the government, what's going on there?
Did you say telepathic?
Yes.
Okay, good, good.
What is the problem with National Insurance, my spiritual advisor?
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I saw some pictures coming over social media, and I've seen some placards. One placard in particular that drew my attention was that it says, "Our pay is late again." So I assume there's some folks at NIB that's not being paid on time. That's the assumption.
Okay.
And then I think they're saying that it is because of some computer problems they may be experiencing as to why some staff are not being paid. It seems as if this has happened more than once. So I think they have decided to take their concerns to the front area of the building with some placards.
That's National Insurance on Blue Hill Road.
NIB, yeah.
And I'm hearing other reports that the Menace administration are firing more Negro workers. Who are the latest set of Negroes who have been dismissed?
I understand that, let me just check this carefully.
We are told
there may be some people,
from the gaming board.
Right, the gaming board that may have been, I think the word terminated.
Okay.
Would be best. Let me see. I think I have a letter here that I just might could briefly look at.
Okay.
Here's what it says. The gaming board notification of termination of employment. It says, please be advised that the appointed board at its ordinary meeting held on Tuesday, November the 7th, 2017, conducted a review of the board's current structure and manpower needs to formulate a strategy that will create maximum organization efficiency. Accordingly, in light of the foregoing, this letter serves as formal notification that your employment with the board is hereby terminated effective Monday, November 27, 2017. In this regard, pursuant to Section 29(1)(bi) of the Employment Act, you're entitled to receive 2 weeks basic pay in lieu of notice. Further, pursuant to Section 29(1)(b)(2) of the Employment Act, you're also entitled to receive 2 weeks basic pay or part thereof on a prorated basis for each year that you have worked up to 24 weeks. So I assume basically on this letter that the gaming board is doing some sort of a downsizing, and that's due to restructuring, it would seem like. They are doing their restructuring. I guess they must be right-sizing the gaming board.
Well, my information says that some 50 workers at the gaming board were to be terminated almost 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
You see? And so we are told that Freedom March and the unions were able to hold the government back. But those of you who are being fired, y'all want to be fired. You're not standing up. You're not protesting.
Nobody wants to be fired,
all right?
Monka.
My spiritual advisor, they will stand up and fight.
Nobody wants to be fired, though.
See how ministers fighting for an increase in salary? You have to stand up and fight. It's simple as that. And y'all are not. I've been inviting citizens to march and to demonstrate, and you've not been doing it. So ministers those think that they can get away with it. And that's the problem that we are faced with. So we have to stand up. Oh boy, my Negro people, I cannot understand. They say they can rock with Doc. I told y'all, throw rock after Doc.
Qualify that now. Qualify that.
What do you mean qualify that?
Because that sounds like violence.
Not Creole Haitian. Way wash by Doc.
No, but it sounds like violence. You can't do that. Don't forget now.
Spiritual advisor.
He is the prime minister of the country.
Listen,
we have to
what
respect.
kind of rock?
That's what I'm saying.
He said,
qualify that.
He didn't qualify what he meant when he said rock with Doc.
Yeah, rock with Doc.
Because Dr. Menace was never a dancing man.
Well, rock with Doc is a term used to say, listen, I want you to come with me.
And what do you think?
Rock with Doc. Come with me.
Rock after Doc means.
Well, you need to qualify with the rock.
It means don't go with Doc.
Okay.
I saw him last night under the sea grape tree. Why are you laughing? I saw Minister under the sea grape tree last night.
Yeah?
And as soon as my aides told me, see Minister under the sea grape tree, I break off run. From Arawak Key and the Saxon rush out. Yeah. So that is what is going on. So we have to walk and we have to march because that is what is taking place. When you can turn on this clock so I could know what time it is, eh? Goodness me.
I think there were some issues too that came up from inland revenue. I understand that they're also
if you are a Negro, you would be terminated.
It appears if the present government, apparently after looking at a lot of the agencies, are saying that they're a bit too oversized.
Man.
And as a result of that, they have to right size these
they're wrong.
These these departments to make sure they operate efficiently. I think that may be the issue.
They're wrong.
A lot of people were hired, just before the election or so on and so forth, and as a result of that, placed the government in a very precarious situation.
They're wrong.
They have to find salaries to pay these people, so I guess it is what it is. The government has to do what they have to do.
Yeah, Menace is wrong. Okay, let's see what else Papa had to say. I told you what Papa views were on the vote.
Yeah, what was his, no, I don't think you said. You didn't say anything. You left it open. What did he say?
Papa believes that a game is being played.
By whom?
There's only one person who can play games.
And who does it stand to benefit?
Tout le monde haïtien. Di marche passé a. Malé pour petit déjeuner ak papa. L'aime dit papa. Papa say Hubert Alexander Ingram. Papa dit, I pa kwe bateau haïtien ap vini nan Adelaide Village illegima. Vous comprenez? Papa explique pour qui ça immigration pa kembe pep moyo haïtien. I pa kembe gramoun haïtien. I pa kembe timounio. Papa dit, il pas que bateau a vini avec pep moyo. Papa pas que ça. And ma pèse met tout pep moyo haïtien pour connaître Papa Hubert Ingram remet un pile moun haïtien. Papa dit, yo menti. Papa dit, pour qui ça? Pour bateau, pour ap vini. and bateau pagi peboyo lada. Ah! Papa pas fou, à mon cœur pas fou, parce que papa haïtien, moi c'est haïtien. My spiritual advisor, did I explain it right?
Yeah, you said some interesting things.
I said it right?
Yeah, yeah.
I
No.
say it.
You covered it.
Should I try and say it again?
Why don't you say it in English now?
I can't remember what I said in Haitian Creole. You tell them what I say in English.
No, I'm not going. I'm not getting it that.
Okay.
That's between you and Papa.
Who that is?
That's between you and Papa.
Yeah. So Papa pas quoi ça? Parce que dimanche passé, malé, l'éclisme fini, malé pour joindre pour Papa. M'a chita à côté de Papa. Moi dis Papa, tout le temps, m'a vini, nous, acheter bagaille pour moi. Même aujourd'hui, Papa, m'a acheter bagaille pour nous. Laisse-moi dire ça, Papa rit. Papa dit, ha ha ha. Il rit comme ça.
Pour qui ça? Pour qui ça?
Papa, il rit. Un papa dit, mon cœur, est-ce que vous voulez acheter bagaille pour moi? Acheter. Un papa content. Il content pour moi. Moi content pour papa. Et là, moi fini parler avec papa. Moi dit, papa, malé, n'avait pita. And Papa dit, n'avait pita, mon frère. How's that, my spiritual advisor? Do you think all my people?
Yeah, they're informed now.
Yeah. And listen, we're going to do everything in our power to bring back Papa. And we're going to sing the song, Campe Papa, Campe Papa. Yeah. So it was a wonderful meeting with Papa. As I petitioned Papa, I said, Papa, what this is? Papa Frankie ain't no Bahamian. Papa Frankie ain't no Bahamian. What's going on? Yeah. But I can't remember what Papa said, don't talk. So I'm holding back. But I told Papa, and listen, Papa made a ruling. Meanwhile, Frankie in the Punch talking about taxi plate. What kind of low-down Negroes y'all are? Every time the government changed, the F&M. When it comes to poor black people, they're concerned about taxi plate. But let me tell you something about taxi plate. Because I was the Negro who took the F&M to court. And before you interfere with taxi plate, you should tell the Attorney General to find the judgment and read it. When it comes to poor black people, you enter about who is leasing. If mama has a taxi plate and mama's old, and that's the way she makes a living, there is nothing unlawful or immoral or indecent for mama to find somebody and come to an arrangement so that they could work and bring mama something. Now the minister got Frankie. Frankie ain't a Bahamian. Frankie is not a citizen of the Bahamas. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Yes?
Happy day, happy to Senator.
God save the Queen.
And a happy day to spiritual leader.
Yes, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm just taking one day at a time, just
Absolutely.
sitting in the Ponderosa here in Nassau Village.
Okay. The sweet tea.
Sweet tea. Just watching you all and enjoying your show.
Okay.
Sweetie, I want to ask you a
I'm happy
question.
to be with you all every 4 o'clock.
Sweetie!
And you make my day because I wait for this moment of 4 o'clock until 6 o'clock.
I want to ask you a question. May I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Are you still crippled?
Pardon me?
Are you still confined to a bed?
No, I'm not confined. I'm open right now. I'm just.
Would you like to spend 18 minutes with me on TV?
I will, whenever the opportunity is available. I hoping that after 58 years I've been in the jungle.
What are you doing tomorrow?
I'm looking forward for the
Sweetie.
26th of December
Man, this
that
man
I
is
will
talking.
show myself
Hey,
on Russell Square after 10 years,
sweetie,
after being away from the jungle for 10 years.
can you hear me?
I hear you.
What are you doing tomorrow?
Pardon?
What are you doing tomorrow?
I'm just relaxing in the Ponderosa.
You think you could come on with me tomorrow?
I will be able to come on to you tomorrow.
Do you know where the TV station is located?
I think I know, by Thompson Boulevard, by Esso gas station.
Yes, it is.
Can you get here no later than 3:30?
3:30?
Yeah.
I will be there, and I want the world to know that I'm still living and I'm still a part of this world.
3:30, and we will prove to them that you are alive. Are you alive?
I'm still alive as I speak to you.
Are you alive?
I'm still alive because when I look at my life from the year of 1960, I was on Bay Street and I opened up Super Value in Nassau Street in 1966.
Listen.
I put everybody to
you come here,
give everybody a
be
job
here for 3:30. Okay? I'll see you tomorrow. If it is God's will, 3:30. Take good care, sweetie.
God bless.
All right.
It's Sweet Team.
My spiritual advisor, you know what kind of word this is. If I don't say sweetie, then the lesbian woman who is hunting behind EJ, they're going to say I'm being discriminatory. All right? So, you know, the woman is sweetie, and the man is now sweetie. It's metrosexuality taking place among these unsaved people.
Oh, boy.
So, let's see, because don't forget what I say. All week is Papa week because I said something to Papa. And the same thing I asked Philip Brave Davis. Papa said to me the same thing that Philip Brave Davis said to me. And it means that Papa and Philip Brave Davis are either thinking alike or they are talking to each other. So I'm going to go to a statement in which, if you were to look at the front page of the Bahama Journal, the PLP warns foreign investors. You hear me? Philip Brave Davis is warning them. And it is interesting to note that I questioned Papa. I said, Papa, help me with this commercial bill. You hear me? I said, Papa, the commercial bill. You know what Papa say? Boy, in trouble. I can't remember what all Papa said not to say. Papa, forgive me if this is one of the things you have told me not to say. Papa say it is going to take at least 14 days or more than 14 days when they file the application for work permit. And at a point, I saw when Papa went off, he didn't say anything, but as I look at Papa, honestly, I believe that Papa not only sucked his teeth, Papa cussed. But I didn't hear him curse. I just look at how he looked. Because Papa recognized that this is bull skate that the FNM is doing. Papa say it can take about 14 days. And then Papa say, God help us, if the application got misfiled. So by that, I have concluded that Papa has a problem with this bill. Philip Brave Davis, it ain't only you and the PLP, Papa too. And so the PLP, once again, has to mobilize, and I'm prepared to help the PLP to march against this, because this bill does not help us. It does not. And Papa told me all kind of things. Boy, I didn't know. Man, Papa told me all kind of things. I can't believe that Papa would have been educating me on that blessed Sunday to keep quiet. Because Papa knows I got a talk show. And Papa knows that the people them want to hear from him through me. Papa told me all kind of things. All kind of things. Papa told me. So let's look at what Philip Brave Davis and the PLP is saying. The PLP is fundamentally opposed to the Commercial Enterprises Bill. It did not support it in the House. It will not support it in the Senate. it will take its case on the road to the Bahamian people. When we come to office, we will repeal it, and those who accept its benefits ought to think carefully before accepting the benefits of this legislation. The bill is an unnecessary intervention for attracting foreign direct investment or to support growth or empower entrepreneurship. During the debate in the House, nothing was advanced to justify the intervention of this bill. All that was said to justify the policy of the government can be achieved by improving management protocols and the efficiency of the public administration. We are also suspicious of the creation of specified enterprise zones, said Philip Brave Davis. Such a designation of land will no doubt enhance its value. We know who the land barons are in this country. They hold too much of the wealth of the country as it stands. This will only further enrich them at the expense of the public at large. For example, if the city of Nassau is designated as such, who is more likely to benefit? No doubt, Brent Simonet, who is the mover of this bill and a major landowner in the city of Nassau, in New Providence, and in the Bahamas. This is one of the more obvious conflicts of interest. The bill sets an investment threshold to provide for automatic work permits at $250,000. This is selling out our birthright for a bowl of porridge. What informs this threshold? It is cheapening our patrimony. The real challenge to growth and empowerment is the bar to Bahamians to get access to capital. We need to liberalize access to capital rather than work permits without vetting. This bill is fundamentally flawed, fundamentally wrong, and fundamentally ill-conceived. It will undercut the progress that Bahamians have made in this country under the PLP after 1967 and majority rule. It threatens the jobs of young professionals in this country. There is nothing wrong with the regime which now obtains, which requires you to find a Bahamian professional, and only if that professional is not available will a work permit be granted. This bill does nothing for Bahamians and is simply pandering to a privileged minority and foreign interests while squeezing, oh hallelujah, the economic way of life for many Bahamians. Economic development and liberalization should not come at the expense or detriment of the Bahamian people. The Progressive Liberal Party understands that the survivability of the Bahamas is dependent on our ability to adapt to changing economic conditions. We cannot, however, support any legislation that jeopardizes the livelihoods of our people, as this does. The government must focus on improving the skills of our workforce while fostering an environment that reduces the barriers to small and medium-sized enterprises. The Commercial Enterprises Bill does not help us. We oppose it, said Philip Brave Davis, the leader of the opposition in this country. Wow, isn't it powerful, my spiritual advisor, that we have to constantly After achieving political power in 1967, 50 years later, Dr. Hubert Minnis has turned out to be a scallywag as he allowed Brent Simlet to turn us back. But I shall have him to know it is forward march and we shall not turn back. This is Freedom March. Be right back after the break.
Do you have something to say to the Senator? Call Freedom March at 323-7775. Toll free from anywhere in the Bahamas at 242-300-0045. Freedom March with Rodney Monker, only on ILTV. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. I'm joined in studio by a good man, my spiritual advisor, Bradley Roll. Bradley, welcome once again to Freedom March.
Thank you, Mr. Monk. Notwithstanding, though, that when called good by his counterparts, Jesus Christ says, listen, do not call me good, for there's none good except God alone. I understand exactly what he was saying. He was a good man.
Okay.
But
well, I
do have my faults.
I shall now go into a foreign tongue. Voici les amis, moi. And monsieur, c'est bonbon comme ça.
Yeah.
Garçon.
Bon garçon.
Oui.
M'attendez.
Folks, I'm looking at the Nassau Guardian because a couple of weeks ago, a Negro woman called me to complain over the killing of her uncle, Timothy Ferguson. And I said to her, listen, your uncle is my ma relative. Because her uncle was born in the forest and my ma was born at Forest Exuma. Well, in today's Nassau Guardian, to all the family and relatives of Timothy Ferguson, who was killed doing what they call a boating accident in the harbor about 2010 or 11. I don't remember the exact date, but I do know that a yacht which was being driven or sailed belonged to the man who owns Breezes. They kill him. And his other brother was able to escape. So I want the family to go to page 810 of the day's Nassau Guardian, where there is an important government notice. So to the family of Timothy Ferguson, I'm going to read a notice. It comes from the Office of the Judiciary Coroner's Court. Notice the following person. 1. Gordon Butch Stewart. He's the man who owned Breezes. It was his boat. Ian Reed. Neville Sylvester Christie. Valentine Flores. Ian George Reed. Roger Sivright. Sukuru Condon. Paul Mitchell Mullings. Mondisto Juanitas Escalan Jr. are to urgently contact the Marshal, Sergeant 1610 Berlin Smith, at the Coroner's Court by attending the Magistrate Court Complex, South Street, Nassau, Bahamas, or via telephone number 502-4000 or 502-4077, dated the 22nd of November 2017. So, to the relatives of cousin Timothy Ferguson, take note and make sure that you attend the Coroner's Court so that you may see justice unfold. All right? Get today's Guardian. It is on page 10A. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello. Hello. Spiritual advisor, do you have text?
Oh, yeah, quite a bit of text.
Start reading text.
Nobody on the phone?
Start reading text, my spiritual advisor.
Okay, here we go. Where are we? Right here, Mr. Monker.
Yes.
Mr. Monker.
Nobody answered.
Papa Brave and you, the Chamber of Commerce, and many others have a problem with Brent Summit.
One second. Read that again, my spiritual advisor. What did they say about Papa?
Papa Brave and you, the Chamber of Commerce, and many others have a problem with the Brent Summit bill. But Javago on the show defended Brent and the bill.
Okay. Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Good afternoon, Mr. Monker.
Good afternoon, my dear.
And spiritual advisor. Hi. How are you both?
We're doing great. We're doing great.
Okay, Mr. Monker.
Yes.
I just want to speak to you briefly today about this same proposed commerce bill.
Yes.
You know, it is amazing, this Bahamians. I keep telling people we need to heed the message, not the messenger. Because Mr. Davis has now said that the PLP will repeal the bill, some persons have a problem with it. But for the most part, Bahamians do not understand what this bill is all about. And Mr. Monker, if they were to educate themselves, any right-thinking Bahamian who loves this country would not sit down and allow the government to pass this bill.
That is true.
I am begging Bahamians to get up. You know, Friday gone, you remember what Friday was? That was the anniversary of the first year since the famous We March.
Yes.
Okay? Now, Mr. Monk, it seems so like everybody has drank the poison Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Everybody's punch drunk.
No.
Nobody's saying anything. All of these things that are happening in our country, Bahamians, you all need to take a stand.
Oh, speak to them.
Stop being polarized by PLP and
FNM.
Speak
to them.
Speak first and foremost as
speak to them.
Bahamian. Once this bill is passed, you know what my fear is, Mr. Monk?
What is your fear?
The damage that will be done in 5 years.
Oh, Jesus,
even
mercy.
if another government comes upon, they try to repeal the bill.
Yes.
The damage that would have been done, it will take us years to correct it.
Yes.
Bahamians, we need to stop playing games, like you said. Stop pussyfooting.
Stop pussyfooting.
Call a spade a spade.
Call it a spade.
Think first of country.
Yes.
Then secondly yourself.
Yes.
Okay? We really need to take to the streets, Mr. Monker.
Listen to me. I'm ready to march.
Now, having said all of that, I met a gentleman yesterday in the food store, and he dared me. He said, I don't think you'll call Mr. Monker. Mr. Jerry Josie.
Yes.
Of the famous Josie clan. I told him yesterday how I was supposed to have gotten a package of fish from him from when Jesus was a boy.
Oh,
and he's now was a man.
Yes.
And he laughed, and I said, I'm going to tell Mr. Monker tomorrow to tell you you're from the Josie clan, and you should keep your word.
Yeah.
And he burst out laughing in the store. He said, you'll tell him that? I said, of course.
And I know his father. His father was a Holy Ghost man.
That's right.
You hear me?
He laughed. So he said he'll be listening to your show. So, Brother Jerry Josie, I kept my word, and I hope you keep yours.
Josie, keep your word, because your father was a Holy Ghost man.
That's right.
Yeah, I know that.
Yes.
Outstanding theologian.
Yes, sir.
And a wonderful Negro father.
Yes.
Right, thank you, my dear.
Thank you, too, gentlemen. God bless you.
Yes, God bless you, too.
God
Take
save
care.
the Queen. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Yes.
Mr. Monka, I live in the Fox Hill area, right?
Right.
And what happened is some officers, they had a shooting around there about Thursday night.
Uh-huh.
And a young Negro male was shot.
Really?
Yes. And subsequently, he was shot by the officers, a couple officers of the Royal Bahamas Police Force.
Yes.
And the young man, he's known to the police.
He's known to the police?
From Tuesday and would have been released at 9 o'clock Thursday night. And by 9:35, Mr. Monka, the man was dead.
Hold on a second now. Let me understand that. You said he was first arrested by the police.
At Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
And
when was he released? When was he released?
Thursday at 9 o'clock.
Thursday
PM.
at 9. And when was he killed?
By 9:35, 45, he was already dead, Mr. Monka.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, the thing is, Mr. Monka, I mean, there's a right way and wrong way of doing things, right?
Right.
And people try their best to bear with the police and try to be law-abiding and everything, right?
Well, it's important to be law-abiding, even under adversary. Go ahead.
So, Mr. Monka, how is that? Could people have trust in the police when this man just came the CDU station just get released. And then just to see walk home and he house, the man even in bed yet.
Really?
Came there, drive the man out of the house, pull him around the back of the yard, put 3 shots in the man, 1 in the head and 2 in the chest, and put a gun on him.
Really?
Shine a gun on him. Yes.
No,
people,
you
people
sure?
watch this, Mr. Mongo. People watch this.
You sure?
Yes, Mr. Mongo, people watch this.
My God, it's difficult. Who is your member of parliament?
And then what happened, Mr. Mongo? 7 o'clock. I mean, it never even came on the news. No, Mr. Mongo, every murder and killing what happened in the Bahamas has come on the news. They never put it on the news.
Wow.
I don't know. So,
who's your member of parliament?
Fred Mitchell. At least Fred Mitchell is the man who we see with.
Have you spoken to him about it?
Man, we trying to. We have to talk to him about it. We're trying to get to him. I think probably the family or the deceased probably already get them. Someone got to be a voice because I don't know, they trying to cover up this thing with this boy. Like, you know?
Well, go see Fred Mitchell and call me back and let me know what he is saying. But also, I want to suggest to you that you also bring it to the attention of your member of parliament.
Yeah, I just wanted to be a voice. That someone talk, like speak up and say something, Mr. Monk. I know you was a man, you don't take foolishness, and you would speak for what is right at the end of the day.
Well, talk with Fred Mitchell or find out who has spoken to him and call me back and let me know how this is developing. How does it sound?
All right, good. All right, sir.
And in the meantime, listen to me.
Yes, sir.
Obey the police.
Yes,
you understand
sir.
the point I'm making? If you have a problem, you listen to what they say, then afterward, you can seek legal advice.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Yes,
take good care. All right. Hello. Welcome to Freedom March.
Good evening.
Yes. How are you?
Good evening, Mr. Monker.
Good evening, my dear.
How are you doing?
Listen, I'm kind of upset, but what's on your mind?
What are you upset about?
Listen, don't you see what is taking place? Tuberculosis outbreak in Eleuthera.
Oh, my God.
And they're hiding it from us.
How's it doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm fine.
Great.
Mr. Monker.
Yes?
I am one of the woman them.
Oh, praise the Lord.
But let me tell you something. But 2 days ago, my brother was at Princess Margaret Hospital.
Yes?
And the service was deplorable.
What went wrong?
He went there from 8 o'clock in the morning, and he didn't get until 10:30, 11 that night.
How come?
With a bad back problem.
Wow.
And now the chairs that he was sitting in, instead of you sitting to sit back, you're sitting there, you're falling down on your face.
Really?
And he was in pain all that day from 8 o'clock in the morning till about 9, 10 o'clock, 10:30 that night.
When did he see the doctor?
10:30 that night from 8 o'clock that morning.
Wow. They must have had serious emergencies coming in.
They didn't have any serious emergency. The service up there is slack.
Who is your MP?
My MP is Vaughn Miller.
Vaughn Miller?
Yes.
Wow. Do you have a number for Vaughn Miller?
I have his number. I have all his contact. But
listen,
I don't know, Mr.
fax him and let me know what happened.
That hospital have to wake up to reality.
Well, look here, what time is it?
It's dirty, and then the service is deplorable.
What time is it?
The people's time.
Well, you have to let Dr. Menace know.
Yeah, I have to let him know.
It's time to march.
It's time to march. We will march.
You take good care, my love.
Thank you, Mr. Manker.
God save the Queen. Hello. Welcome to Freedom March.
Hello, Mr. Manker.
Hello.
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 Hello, Mr. Manker.
If I say hello again, I'm going to hang up.
Hello.
Listen, Prince, who's the prince marrying that divorcee? That's on my mind.
Hello.
Put this lady on hold.
Apparently she can't hear you.
Put him on hold. Where's the man? Put him on hold. Don't take no call. I am upset of an article that I've read in which Our Blessed Majesty, Prince Harry, is marrying a divorcee. Your Highness, aren't you aware that you are a blue-blooded Englishman? And Your Majesty should never be marrying a divorcee. I'm so upset that I am prepared to petition Her Majesty You're royal blood. You are fifth in line to the throne. Your Majesty, why are you doing this? Don't you remember what happened in 1936? Huh? Come, Your Majesty. I want you to reconsider and find yourself a woman
who's never married?
Who's never been married.
So let me ask a question.
Your Majesty, God save the Queen.
Why was the woman divorced? Do you know the details of the divorce?
I'm not interested, my spiritual advisor.
You have
I
to
want
because
England's future king to have a woman who is not a divorcee.
But you know the Bible talks about divorce. You realize that, right? Jesus gives a reason for divorce as well. There are reasons that you can get a divorce for. So scripturally you can be clear.
All right.
Once you get divorced,
Harry is wrong.
Let's find
out.
I'm
opposed
you
to
can't
it.
do that, Mr. Monkey. You're making
and
a blanket statement.
Buckingham Palace to tell
get the details first.
His Royal Highness to find
a woman who's never been married.
Any more calls? Read text, my spiritual advisor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Monka, spiritual advisor. Can you ask Mr. Monka if he knew Sam Cox? I saw it before. Good afternoon. It's not breezers. It's Sandals people that were in that boating accident, Mr. Monka.
Sandals. I apologize, breezers.
Good evening, Senator and brother advisor. Good show, as always. Senator and advisor. This commercial enterprise bill has two important concerns. Number one, it mirrors the failed CSME and WTO bid, which both former PM Ingram and Chris refused to pursue. Number two, for $250,000 to invest, these foreigners get more incentives than Bahamians. Okay. Work permits in 14 days and money sent out of the country. And finally, why didn't the PM make a contribution to the bill in the House of Assembly? Did the PM support it, or was this Brent Summit's bill? Okay, Mr. Monka, how are you? People think that an approval will be given in 14 days, but I'm of the belief that the Immigration Department can acknowledge receipt of the application, and after that waiting period will begin. Some of that nature. Okay, here's another one. Hello, Mr. Monka, spiritual advisor. Today, one of the women who was 68 years old went to the Bank of the Bahamas in Freeport, only to be told by the security officer to take off her hat as she entered, which she did. After the security checked her head, she put her hat back on, only to be told that she has to keep her hat off. Why does Bank of the Bahamas want an elderly woman who does not go to the hairdresser allowed to keep her hat on while she is on the line in the bank? Maybe the security don't know what he is looking for. Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Monk. It seems that you don't like... Sorry. Good afternoon, Mr. Monk. It seems as if you don't like Prime Minister Hubert Minnis. Why is this? Is it because you didn't get a post or position in the Minnis administration? Loretta Misson give you Senator post. Now your mouth hard, but we love Doc and still rock with Doc. Can you appreciate that?
Ignore that Negro. Ignore that Negro.
Mr. Monica, the FNM really using the symbol. All they doing is firing the torch burning. Don't blame me. I vote PLP, and I still got my job. Wow. Good evening, Mr. Monica, spiritual advisor. So, if it is true about this TB outbreak in our schools and nation, and the government is being quiet, isn't this equivalent to what they accuse Mr. Fitzgerald of withholding information? Now, the whole government is being quiet while the nation is at risk.
I am being told, in fact, that in Eleuthera, senior government officials have quietly told me how afraid they are. You hear me? And the leader of the opposition has a constitutional duty to contact the Prime Minister and to confirm what is being said.
Mr. Monica, before you go on your show today, drop by the Quaco Street Community Center, an IDB project, $2 from the police station. It's a disgrace.
Wow.
Let's see. Here we go. Gaming board workers terminations coming. We learned that more than $1 million will be saved on salaries when the exercise is complete. Tax dollars will be saved, but plenty of Bahamians are going home. What do you think, Mr. Monica?
It's sad.
Okay.
Tomorrow, I shall return to Papa. All week, it's Papa week. And the question I put out to you is, after providing my submission to the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram on Frankie Alfred Campbell, whose side do you think that Mr. Ingram ruled on? Because I've told him, Papa, oh Papa, them documents. And listen, Papa, having ruled, I'm ready to march on Frankie. Because Papa ain't like Menace. Once you put the law on Papa, Papa will obey. And take it from me, I give Papa some of the most persuasive argument. And when Papa was faced, Papa gave me a ruling. Papa gave me a ruling and a declaration on Frankie affidavit. Papa gave it to me.
Good day, Mr. Monco. When you are ready to hear the truth about Chub Key, you can contact me, because what I heard on your show the other day was nonsense. I've been working here for a while now, and I saw what happened every time the MPs were here.
Who's
that
Negro?
Story about them being on the boat and whatever fake picture you claim you have is pure foolishness, because I was there. I'm not an FNM or PLP. As a matter of fact, I don't even vote. So when you're ready to hear what's going on here, you can contact me.
Come
a young
tomorrow.
32-year-old Bahamian
Come
doing
tomorrow.
something with his life.
Tell him come tomorrow.
All right, I'll text him.
Yeah, go ahead, retext my spiritual advisor. Papa, I thank you for your honesty. Papa, I thank you for looking at my arguments and restoring confidence, or assisting me in restoring confidence.
Good afternoon, Mr. Monco. In January of this year, I was involved in an accident where the person hit by right back. I'm sorry. I was involved in an accident where the person hit my right back door of the car. Upon receiving the police report, he was charged with the accident. Even though he was charged, the gentleman refused to claim under his insurance or fix my car and said that he would take it to court.
You have to wait for him to be convicted. Once he's convicted, you sue him and the insurance. That's how it's dealt.
Well, it says
if anybody in Freeport, Grand Bahama sees my uncle, Sidney Cox, tell him I have received the brand new pair of shoes. Tell my uncle the shoes fit perfectly. All I need from him now is some socks to go with it. Uncle, thank you for the pair of shoes, and send me a pair of socks.
This person says, Mr. Monco, upon checking with the insurance company, I was told that the gentleman informed them that the court had thrown the case out, even though the police charged them with it. Please advise me as to what I should do.
If the case is before the court, continue to pursue it. Get a conviction. Then when you sue him, you have to also sue the insurance and serve the summons on them.
Somebody texts and says,
I don't want y'all to be like the insurance company I got my car in. They can cost me to get locked up. I called Mr. Albury and I said, Mr. Albury, you only send me what the insurance bill is. And Mr. Albury from Star Insurance, up on
yes.
Star Insurance. Is Star Insurance?
Yes, it is.
Because there's nothing named Red Insurance.
No.
Star Insurance. Mr. Albury, you're going to cost me to get locked up. I call you and I say you wouldn't tell me. You promised me you're going to call me. And you ain't called me yet. But if I don't hear from you by tomorrow, I'm going to curse y'all out and call on the woman them to boycott y'all. Because y'all are mean. I mean, how much time it can take you to send the thing, and I got to be licensed. I have to set an example. But y'all is something? Goodness of mercy. Go ahead.
Mr. Monco, today the Gaming Board let go 30 of my colleagues, and there were no contractual workers. These employees were employed for 21 years, 15, 10, 8, and 5 years respectively. What a time, Mr. Monco.
Well, it's the people's time. That's what it is. And y'all are not prepared to stand up. we can teach Dr. Minnis a lesson. Anyway, tomorrow when I come back, I will talk about Papa's ruling on Frankie affidavit. That's one of the things we can talk about. Then I'm going to return to Tommy Turnquest. Tommy Turnquest has said to keep the fire. Meanwhile, backbenchers, the time is right to move. You have to stand up. Vote of no confidence in Minnis. Let us remove him. Because Minnis is being manipulated by Brent Simonet. That's what's going on. So we have to move him by a vote of no confidence.
Let's read this last text.
All right? Go ahead, my spiritual advisor.
Good evening, Honorable Senator. I hear a lot of talk about this bill. I'm of the view that the only persons who want the Bahamas to stay in the dark ages are people like yourself and Brave and other persons, only mad because lawyers can't mess with this country more. I'm glad we have businessmen and women running this country. What do you think about that text, Mr. Monka?
I say, licky don't mama.
Good day, spiritual advisor. Could you ask Mr. Monka, has he returned back to Papa? So what all these PLP ladies will do now that Monka is returned home?
They know Papa is a good man and nobody will get between me and Papa.
I understand that the PLP is going full racist agenda against FNM and the commercial
No,
enterprise
sir,
bill
the PLP
and
never
white
raised the question of race. It is me and FNM who's accused Brent Simonet and Dr. Hubert Minnis of economic racism. Huh? Economic racism. That's what it is. Y'all take it care. Tomorrow, if it is God's will,
If it's the Lord's will,
we shall be back.
good night, everybody.
Papa, take it care, Papa.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.